guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. If you are new, welcome, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back for another video. In today's video, we are going to be doing this look, but it's going to be in a chit chat, get ready with me style. So I'm going to be using some of the products that I did recommend to you guys in my Sephora recommendations video, as well as the Viseart Grand Pro 2, because I did pick that up during the Muse Buy This Get That sale. So we're going to be talking about those things, as well as some whatever else comes, you know, up in the conversation. Okay, so if you guys want to see how I achieve this look and, you know, hear my thoughts on a few things, then definitely stay tuned. Hey you guys, good morning, and I'm just going to use some of the things that I recommended to you guys in my Sephora recommendations, as well as using some other products, you know, just trying to give you guys some demonstrations of the products I recommended, you know, as well as show you guys some things that you may not have seen on my channel before. So I've already primed my face. I used something that I got from my BoxyCharm box this month. It's called the Glow Ahead Illuminating Face Oil by Wander Beauty, and it doesn't feel like an oil at all. It actually feels like a primer. It's quite sticky when I put it on my face, so I've been using this as a primer ever since I got it in my BoxyCharm, and it works pretty well. And I did put some pictures on Instagram, and I used this primer in combination with my Born This Way, and I did get a compliment like saying you look so glowy and stuff like that. Look like you're glowing. So yeah, I think that's a pretty cool product there. Happy I got it into my BoxyCharm. And then I also did my pore priming with the MAC Prep and Prime, and then the Milk Blur Stick in my pore area. So I am ready for foundation, and I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way in Tiramisu. Alright, so how many of you guys are excited for the Sephora sale? I think it's pretty cool that they're doing another one. I heard someone say that, you know, it takes away the excitement from the other sales that they do in the year, but I do like, I don't know, I appreciate them doing another sale because they hardly have sales. They don't have coupons hardly. So and you know, their rewards program could be a little bit better, so I'll take an additional sale. But there's not a lot out that I'm interested in, so while I appreciate the sale, it's like, what am I gonna get? I saw it on Trend Mood maybe a week or so before it started. I'm wondering if they're gonna make this yearly, because I think they did this last year as well, but I thought it was just like to kick off their new program. Like they were revamping their rewards program, and I thought this was kind of like a, you know, kickoff celebration when they did this last year, but this is the second year that they're doing an additional sale, so maybe this is something that's gonna be yearly. For concealer today, I am gonna use something different. I'm gonna use the Giorgio. I'm gonna use the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer in the shade 12. I haven't used this on my channel, I don't think, since I picked it up in during the spring sale, so I wanted to demonstrate that here for you. And while I did mention that the one I would recommend is the Too Faced Born This Way, I'm still basically testing this out. I know it's been like several months that I've had it, but I've had some issues blending it out in the times that I have used it, so I've kind of stayed away from it. But I picked it up yesterday to use it, and it worked pretty well. So, and I didn't have a problem with my under eye creasing. So yeah, definitely let me know, you guys, what you're thinking about like recent makeup releases. I was gonna do I had planned for this month to do another ship it or skip it video where I talk about new releases and whether I'm interested, but I feel like it would just turn into an anti-haul because I'm not intrigued by anything. The most exciting product from this summer was the Pat McGrath foundation, and I did a video on that and just an update for you guys, just to talk about it here. I do like that foundation. I think it's nice. You know, you guys saw that I could build it up to a medium coverage, and it lasted pretty decently. However, I was at home, you know, that whole day. I think it's nice. It's just that in the summertime, it's not my favorite for the summer. You know, it's not matte. I prefer a matte foundation in the summertime. But yeah, I know I want to see how it does in the winter time. Oh, and I did not return the powder. I didn't return the powder. I had a lot of people on my comment section saying, you should have used it as a bronzer. I don't even know why I didn't think about that. But after you guys said all that, I started using it as a bronzer. And it's an expensive bronzer, okay? So but I didn't want to go through the hassle of returning it. Like, I got to request a return envelope a return label, then send it back, and then when they get it, then they'll send me back my powder, you know, the correct shade of powder. So I didn't want to be bothered with that, so I was just like, okay, I'll use it as a bronzer, and it is really nice as a bronzer, so I'll use that today as a bronzer so you guys can see. But yeah, that Giorgio Armani blends out nicely. I'm going to, I think I'm just going to leave it like this. I was going to add some more concealer to kind of add a little bit more brightness, but I don't need to add more brightness today. I'm going to set that like I usually do. I'm running out of this. And then I'm taking this golden bronze, what is it, golden almond soft focus powder from Radiance. I've been using this to kind of set my, not kind of, but you know, to add a little bit more brightness on the other areas of my face. So yeah, it's been working pretty well, especially with this foundation. Then I'm gonna go into the Becca powder that I recommended to you guys. Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder. Still wet, you know, still gives me that refreshing feel, like it, you know, like you're spraying kind of water on your face. But maybe this one, just because it has a tint to it, that it's doing a better job for me of setting my makeup. So I'm liking it a little bit more than the translucent. And then I learned my lesson in that video, because I did a first impression of this powder. I learned my lesson in that video. Don't use it under your eyes. It's a matte powder. It's a mattifying powder. For some reason, when I heard about this powder, I thought it was going to be pretty, excuse me. I thought it was going to be pretty hydrating, because it says Hydra Mist. So I thought it was going to be a nice hydrating powder that I could use to set my under eye, and, you know, my under eye wouldn't look dry or, you know, crepey. But with that powder, it definitely did. And I feel like I probably used it with a matte powder, with a matte concealer, so you know, the dehydration of the under eye was on 100. Okay, so yeah, bronzer, Pat McGrath Labs loose powder in deep 5. And I know this is if you're gonna use this as a bronzer, I mean, that's just too much money to be spending for a bronzer. Okay, I'm just doing this so that I use my product. I would not recommend just buying this unless you are just in love with this formula for a bronzer. Don't just buy this to use it as a bronzer. I'm just kind of being lazy as far as sending it back, because I did reach out to them and say, you know, this powder was too rich for my skin tone. And they said, okay, well, request a mailing label and we'll send you another one. And I thought that was decent of them, because, you know, I bought the system, and the system, you know, when you buy the system, you get a discount on the products. And so I was like, well, do I have to pay a difference between, you know, the powder, like pay the price difference for the discounted price that I paid with the system versus, you know, how much the powder would be if I bought it, you know, separately? And they said no. I tried it as a bronzer and I like it. I feel like it blends nicely, gives a nice warm tone to the face. So when I do my makeup reviews, maybe I need to pay attention to this more, but I didn't realize how little, I guess, of powder is in here. So 5 grams of powder in there, and I get 20, Jesus. 5 grams of powder in here, Jesus. And 20 grams of powder in Huda Beauty, okay? I think this one is like maybe $35. This one is $55. So it seems like Pat McGrath is really doing the most as far as her pricing is concerned. I got 10 grams of powder in Becca. I think this one is like 28 or 30 something dollars. This one is 55. I get 5 grams. So yeah, girl, I mean, she is a luxury brand, but let me see how much I get in La Mer. Oh, let me see how much I get in Hourglass. Hourglass, I think this one is $45. I get 10 grams in Hourglass. I get 8 grams in La Mer. Now, this one is more on par, because with what Pat McGrath is doing, this is it $99? I know, I bought it, okay? This one is $99. You get 8 grams, all right, and then 5 grams for $55. So maybe it is on par with pricing for luxury brands. I don't know, but it is it's a little amount. So I'll use my Cover FX blush, Sweet Mulberry. You guys have seen me use this on my channel, so I don't necessarily need to use this one, but No blush draping today, but you guys, thank you guys for your comments on my video where I did like the makeup playtime and I did the blush draping. Somebody said that they saw, I think it's Daz. I think that's who said it. She said, yeah, I saw Laura May Beauty's video as well and stuff, but she said she was being a little bit chicken about it too, as far as like going all in with the draping and stuff. But yeah, apparently you can drape all the way up to your head. I mean, you can do it how you want to, but like I saw a picture of somebody, you know, some advertisement, and their blush was just like right here. It was a deeper skin person. It was just like going right there. It was so editorial. I probably wouldn't have the courage to walk out like that, but it was beautiful. It was just like, you know, right there. They looked nice, you know, in their editorial thing. All right, guys, brows are on, and I did add, you know, did carve out the brows with the same Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. Put my NYX base down, and I'm going to go on with my ABH eye primer. So I forgot to say this during my Sephora video. It doesn't mean I don't recommend it, but a downfall to this is that for some reason this stuff just gushes out of, you know, when you open it, it can, you know, squeeze out of the top. So it's kind of messy. I don't know what defect there is with this the way they've got this packaged, but it'll just like come out like a volcano when you take the lid off. So I just store it standing up like this and just make sure I keep it standing up so that, you know, it has a less likelihood of squeezing out the top. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm working through the mini version that I picked up when I ordered my Jackie Aina palette, and you know, I like it so far. You know, I've been using it every day since I got it, you know, after I did those videos or those looks when I was using my MAC Landlow paint pot. You know, the next day I started using this, you know, just to continue testing it out, and it works pretty good. I think I got too much on this eye. It's very pigmented, as you can see. So I would recommend, I mean, if you are somebody who likes a little bit more control, then I would say, you know, stick with your paint pot, because that is, you know, it's a cream, so it's not, you know, flowing everywhere and stuff like that. And if I do too much, take my sponge and kind of blend over that to make sure that it's blended. All right, so going in with Viseart today. This is the Dark Mattes palette. I'm going to use the top left shade, the brown, and use that as my transition. So Viseart came out with a palette called Milieu, or Milieu, whatever it is, like their Neutral Mattes 2 or something. I did not pick that up. It's a pretty palette. I just I thought that my collection has enough of those shades in it that I didn't need to go get that one, but I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that it is an amazing formula. I like my two you know, matte palettes that I have from them, my 12 pans. I've got the Cool Mattes 2, I guess, and then the Dark Mattes that I'm using now. Alright, so that's a beautiful transition shade, easily blended out. I'm gonna go into the purple, okay, and I'm gonna put that in the crease. This is a big brush. I'm using my Sonia G Worker 1. It's a fat one, but it'll blend, so it blends as I put it down, and I'm turning that vertically and blending that way. So the reason I like to use this purple is because once I use it, it doesn't look super purple, at least not on my skin tone. So it's not something that's like in your face bright purple. It still looks, you know, pretty, you know, understated. So I wanted to share a channel that I've been really a fan of recently, and her name is Nappy Headed Jojoba. I got hipped onto her channel from Alicia from Kinky Sweat. So also, and really Alicia just said, you know, she was talking about the Jackie Aina palette, Alicia was, and she said, you know, check out Nappy Headed Jojoba's video, and that will give you my thoughts on, you know, the kind of like controversy or backlash that people were sharing about, or that we saw in the community about, you know, the Jackie Aina collaboration. And I had seen Nappy Headed Jojoba's video in my recommendations for, you know, a few days. I just hadn't clicked on it. I am subscribed. So her channel is very like, it's like not, you're not gonna go there expecting one topic that she's always going to be talking about. Like, she's not a makeup channel, she's not a hair channel. She just talks about whatever's, you know, on her noggin. I don't know how to explain it. She's like, she talks about current issues, like commentary maybe. Like, she recently did a video about YouTube, you know, the state of YouTube, where it is now. She did a video talking about, she's done the hair, obviously she does hair videos. She has beautiful natural 4C hair, okay, since birth. She's never had a perm. I just can't believe it. I'm just like, go you, okay? Because my mama was like, girl, it's time to put that perm in, okay? So she's never had a relaxer. And so yeah, she's got some nice hair videos on there. She is very into health and wellness. So she's got like health like program reviews and things that she's done. She's got some makeup reviews on her channel. Like, she reviewed the Pat McGrath foundation. She did a video with the Jackie Aina palette, and throughout that video she wasn't talking necessarily about the product, but talking about, you know, just different things that she had observed with the backlash and why she was, you know, excited for Jackie Aina and things like that, even though she doesn't agree with everything that maybe Jackie Aina has done in the past. Anyways, all right, so as part of the Viseart buy this get that, I didn't have to, but I picked up the Viseart Grand Pro 2. Okay, so this is not going to be a review. I have been using it. I've used it like 3 times since I picked it up, and yeah, so we're just gonna do a look today with it. Here's what it looks like. This is how their like small petite palettes come, at least the one that I have. It came in this type of package. Oh Lord Jesus. All right, so you've got the little flap here, and then you open it. Here are the shades there, and then you've got a mirror there. But this palette is organized in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and, or no, 6 columns, 5 rows, okay? And each column is based on the finish of the eyeshadow. So if you guys want a full-on breakdown of what each row, the finish is, and how it's intended to be used, all that, definitely check out Stephanie Nicole's video. She did an interview with the owner of Muse Beauty Pro, and I think the owner of Viseart, and they talked about, you know, how they came up with this whole setup. So I want to do something a little bit more, you know, understated. Not understated, but a little bit more neutral tone. So I'm not going to get into the blue. Maybe a blue. But it's not gonna be like bright green, bright pink, and all that, okay? So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna put a glitter glue down just to be, you know, just to do it. All right, so you guys, I'm sure if you've been on my channel for quite a while, then you know that my intended upload schedule was 3 to 4 times per week. So that 4 would be like a bonus type thing. But in the past few months, it has been challenging. I will tell you that. I got a promotion at work. So thank God for that. I got a promotion at work. And when you get a promotion, they have a little bit more expectations of you. Okay. So when I was doing those 3 to 4 times a week, you know, I would be here in the mornings recording so I could, and then, you know, so I could have them recorded and then edit them, blah, 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 blah. But with this promotion, they need me to come in earlier. So if I want to record in the morning, I gotta get up hecka early, and then I gotta compete with my husband for the bathroom and stuff like that, and it has been interesting. So yeah, that is you know, that's what has happened as far as my schedule. If you have noticed that it hasn't been as consistent as it was earlier in the year, particularly in January. So yeah, so recently thereafter I got a promotion, so I was happy about that. And this is a duochrome shade. It's an orange with a subtle golden flip to it. It's a very pretty shade. It is very pretty. All right, I'm gonna go in with the shade next to it, which is a brown, like metallic. I'm gonna put that there, you know, on that outer V, or the outer corner. And you can definitely use these with your finger, or, you know, with a brush if you wanted to. I just, you guys know, like to use my finger, okay? All right, so and I don't know if I've already said this, but this is not a review. This is just a look that I'm doing with the palette. I have not solidified my thoughts on it, which is why I didn't like give you guys a recommendation to buy this with the current Sephora sale, okay? And this video also is not meant to be a representation of what you can do with the palette, because I'm not using it to its fullest potential. If you want to see something, you know, if you want to see somebody really get into the palette, then go on to Kinky Sweat's channel. She just posted a video with this palette where she used every shade in the palette. Now I'm putting some mixing medium on a brush, and for this formula that I'm about to use, they don't say you need to use this, but I'm using it. So I'm going into the second shade on the first row. This is supposed to be like the crystalline shades, more like a topper, and I feel like that just dulled it down. Dadgummit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm going with my finger now to kind of add that pop. It does add a pop. So this row, the first row of shades, is supposed to be a little bit more lightweight as far as the coverage, so you're not going to get full on pigmentation. One thing I need to do is refresh myself as far as the function and the use of every shade in the palette, or every row of the palette, to see how it was intended to be used, see how it was intended to look. You know, because some of these rows have different coverage levels, and so if you're not informed about that, then you would look at this and say, I don't like that, you know. So, because when I first used this palette, I had forgotten that some of these shades aren't meant to be like completely full coverage shades. Like when you use them, you might not get that huge color payoff that you might expect from a metallic, and that's because they have different functions, and they manufactured this palette to do different things with the different rows. So, but I do like that pop right there. So I like the way it popped when I put the mixing medium on the center. And then I took my finger to kind of go over top of it and kind of blend it over to the other sides of the orange. And I think that looks really good. I think that looks cute. So there's two rows of shades that they recommend that you definitely use a mixing medium with them. And so when I bought the Buy This Get That using with the Grand Pro 2, I got the Issa mixing medium as well as a brush. But I also got 20% off the palette too. So that's why I went ahead and picked this, you know, did that deal, because I was getting the palette at a discount as well as the 2 additional items. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take this little brush here into the blue metallic shade in the 4th column, and I'm gonna sweep this on, or press this onto the lower lash line. All right, so it's just a little hint of blue on the bottom, which I think that's nice. Going into the first shade in the 3rd row, first shade in the 3rd column. But yeah, a lot of my recording now has been done on Saturdays, or I really have to be intentional about making sure I get my behind up so I can record. I do have a ColourPop video that I wanted to do. Well, actually, I just had a theme of a color, so I wanted to do like a monochromatic orange look. I have the ColourPop orange palette, and then I also picked up some orange lippies from ColourPop as well, like an orangey toned lipstick and an orangey toned lip gloss. And you guys know I like an orange blush, so okay. But interesting information is that Viseart's coming out with a Grand Pro 3. Yeah, Viseart's releasing a Grand Pro 3. The reason I know that is because in my package it had a coupon if I do a pre-order on September 15th. So I guess they must be announcing it maybe pretty soon. Within like the next 3 weeks they must be announcing it, maybe actually on the 15th. But yeah, so that's interesting. I'm curious to see what is going to be in that palette. All right, so I'm going to use my chocolate geode highlighter to I recommended this to you guys in my Sephora haul, or not Sephora haul, in my Sephora recommendation video. So I'm going to use that to get a highlight going here. Some beautiful highlight, guys. Really stunning. All right, guys, so I am back with highlighter added in my highlighted areas. There, you know. Eyes both done, obviously. So next step, I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder Tan Dark. I recommended this to you guys in the Sephora recommendation video for the sale. Taking the same brush I used for my Becca powder and just going in circular motions. And so, you know, especially I like to focus on top of my highlight and blush area to make sure that the highlight is blended in. So, okay. There we go. And so versus this side, you can see it's a little bit more harsh, a little bit more in your face. Same with the highlight area there. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And all right, guys, so here's the eye look done. I'm going to do lips now. Basic lip with some brown lip liner. And then I'm going to go with my L'Oreal Toasted Almond. One of my fave nude lips. Very pretty. I like this formula a lot. So if you're you like shopping at the drugstore for makeup, definitely check out their Color Riche line and the little gold one and the gold tube. This is Toasted Almond. I also like Brazil Nut. All right, so here's the final look. Let me know what you guys think. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat. Get ready with me. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will be talking to you guys really soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see more content from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I upload videos 3 to 4 times per week. Typically, all right? Sometimes a little off, but you know, usually 3 to 4 times per week, all right? Thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. See ya.